What's up YouTube, it's Sean here and I'm back today to give you guys a review of the COS collaboration with Saucony on the Kinvara 4 RE in the Meteorite Sand colorway. This is the latest collaboration between Saucony and Shenzhen-based boutique COS. So earlier this year I reviewed their previous collaboration, which was done on the same silhouette, but it was nicknamed the Infinite Galaxy colorway. So this one is the sequel to that pair and it adopts a similar space theme. So these are releasing on November 9th on COS website and they're releasing for approximately $140 US, which is roughly 200 Canadian dollars converted. And the nickname of this shoe is Meteorite Sand, which explains why the entire sneaker looks like how it would after you've been hiking on a meteorite or something like Mars, giving it this reddish appearance all across. And as a backgrounder, the Saucony Kinvara 4 was actually released originally as a performance running shoe just under a decade ago, but given current sneaker trends and given how popular retro performance running shoes are, it makes sense why the brand has brought this back as a casual lifestyle sneaker. And before I go on any further, I want to give a huge thank you over to COS for sending me over this pair early. So jumping into the details of the shoe itself, starting things off with the toe box, unlike the previous release where it had this translucent toe box, for this colorway, the toe box is not translucent and it's covered in this nylon layer, which obviously originally was gray in color, but it's been brushed over with this red colored tint. Right above this, we have the semicircle reflective 3M layer, and then surrounding the front toe cap, we have this very plush nubuck, and we have the COS logo on the lateral side of the left foot and the Saucony stripe on the right foot. Next to this, covering the sides of the toe box, we have this unique stitching, which mimics the look of where the panels would typically be on a normal Kinvara 4. And then for the eyelets, we have these plastic covered eyelets, and then moving downwards, we have this reflective 3M layer, which is also given a reddish tint. In the middle of this, we have this TPU layer, which helps to give the shoe a little bit more support and structure. And then overlaid on top of this, we have the Saucony stripe. This is constructed out of a shaggy, long-haired suede. And then we have the shiny iridescent layer underneath, which adds to the whole space theming of the sneaker. And then covering the top of the heel, we have this darker colored nubuck with Saucony branding found on the lateral side only. Beneath this, we have a stiff TPU heel cup, which gives you structure and support around the back end of the sneaker. And then hanging off the top of the heel, we have this small black colored pull tab. As far as the laces go, so this pair comes with two different lace options. So the standard lace that they come with is a thin rope style lace, which loop through this lace lock, giving it more of a trail inspired vibe. But if you like more of a traditional look, they also come with a secondary lace option, which is done in more of a darker finish. Underneath this, the bottom half of the tongue is done in that same nylon material, but then the top of the tongue is covered in this reflective 3M layer, and we have the COS logo found on the top of the right foot, and Saucony branding on the top of the left foot. So the back of the tongue and the interior liner of the shoe, this is covered in this off-white colored mesh, and then for the insoles, these come with a pretty well padded foam lined insole. We have COS branding on the heel of the left foot and Saucony branding on the right foot. So the upper of this shoe sits atop this chunky EVA foam midsole, which is painted in a mix of gray with what originally looks to be an off-white color, but again, it's been brushed over with this red colored tint, making it look like you've been stepping directly in red sand. In addition to the EVA, we also have this hard TPU plate which covers the heel of the sneaker, and this gives you structure, support, and containment along the heel. And then for the bottom, so this is your typical Kinvara 4 outsole. So this is constructed out of a dark gray colored semi-translucent rubber. We have this triangular shaped traction pattern on the forefoot, and you can see this visible foam in the middle. This is also brushed in that red tint, and we have Saucony branding right in the center. So that breaks down the look and the construction of this pair. And for those wondering about how these fit, so these fit the same to me as the previous pair. So in my case, I'm a true size 10, slightly on the wider side. COS sent me this pair in a size 10, and they fit me, but they're a little bit more on the snug side. So if you're someone that's in between sizes and you don't like a snug fit, I'd recommend sizing up to the bigger size. So getting these in my true size, there's about an index finger's width space between the edge of the shoe and the top of my toe. But because of the drop of this midsole, basically the height between the heel and the forefoot, it's a little bit more exaggerated than I'm typically used to. So when I wear these, I feel like my feet are slanted a little bit forward, which pushes my toes a little bit towards the edge. So that's part of the reason why these shoes fit a little bit more snug than they would. But if you're someone that's perfectly fine with more of a snug one-to-one fit, then true to size will be okay for you. Just something to keep in mind if you're someone that prefers more of a roomy and generous fitting toe box, then you might want to consider going up a half size. Moving on to the comfort, so these are a pretty comfortable sneaker. You have a good amount of step-in comfort and plushness to it, but because of the TPU plate along the midsole, it gives you more support and structure, especially underneath the heel. So the upper of the shoe is also extremely lightweight, and combining that with a pretty soft but supportive midsole, these I thought were a very comfortable sneaker, and I don't think you guys will be disappointed. Finally, in terms of the quality and the craftsmanship, so first off, the material quality for the most part was really solid. They utilized genuine nubucks and genuine suedes, and that partnered up with some of the synthetic layers like the nylons, the reflective panels, things like that. I think it works really well together. So it's not like your typical Y2K running shoe where it's pretty much all synthetic materials. The fact that they incorporated genuine high quality materials, I think it gave the shoe more of a premium high-end feel. And I thought the build of the shoe was flawless as well. The panels were consistently sized, the stitch job was good. The paint job, it is what it is. They purposely made it look kind of messy and worn in. So from a build standpoint, I really had no issues with this sneaker. So with all of that out of the way now, let's toss these on feet. I'll lace them up and I'll show you guys how these look. All in all, I think this is a solid collaboration and a solid follow-up to the Infinite Galaxy pair. But if I had to choose one, I think this one isn't as good, only because I'm not the biggest fan of this overly distressed and worn-in look. This legitimately looks like I've been hiking in red sand or something like that, and the whole shoe is given this reddish tint. So I get what they were going for, and they execute that theming very, very well. It's just from a personal standpoint, I like my shoes to look a little bit more clean as opposed to buying a brand new shoe that looks pretty beat up straight out of the box. So leave your thoughts down below, let me know what do you guys think about this collaboration, and when these drop on the 9th, are you planning on copying these? Is it a game time decision, or is it a pass for you? And as usual, if you guys enjoyed this review, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet. You can follow me on Instagram at esco8, follow me on X at sean.go_spoutout, and visit my website at seango.ca. So thank you everyone for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoy this review, and I'll catch all of you in my next video.